Peace, HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media Podcast. And on today's episode, we have coming out of Baltimore. You'll never know. Peace, man.
Yo, what up, man? Peace, dog. Yo, thank you for having me, bro. It's an honor,
Definitely,
man.
definitely.
It's really an
Looking
honor.
forward to speaking with you.
Word, man. Likewise.
Definitely. Now, before we get into speaking on any of your projects, tell people a little bit about yourself.
Name is Ullnevano. I'm an MC from Baltimore, Maryland. I would probably call myself a transplant because I was born in Baltimore, but I wasn't raised in Baltimore. You know what I mean? Like I was raised as a military brat. Pops was, you know what I mean, raised me in Kansas, and I spent a lot of time in California. So
Okay.
I just moved back to Baltimore like maybe like 10 plus years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, from there on, just been rhyming and getting busy, just from battling to dropping countless, mixtapes that was like color themed from like Kev Brown joints to Evidence, yo. So yeah, I'm just one of them MCs that's trying to be as consistent as possible, and I'm trying to leave like an extensive catalog of work. You know what I mean? Like yeah, that's what I want to leave behind, just like countless projects and music, so people can enjoy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
All right. I hear that. Now, being that you traveled around coming up with your father and everything, what kind of music really stuck with you?
Um, Man, me being that I just turned 35, so um, growing up, man, my pop was playing like a lot of funk and soul. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I was raised on. Come on, my pop, he actually is retired from the military, and you know how he makes his bread is he's a bass player. He gigs up and down the
okay.
DMV, yo. So you know what I mean. My pop, and I can test this. I don't like boasting like that, but yo, my pop is nasty on the bass guitar. Like he's disgusting. So, coming up, he played a lot of Cameo, a lot of Slave, a lot of War, a lot of Stanley Clark, Bootsy Collins,
There
Parliament
you go.
Funkadelic, like all that. Like, he played a lot of that. So, you know, um, I guess we and that's funny that you say that you mentioned my father because we actually had a conversation like I maybe say about like a month ago, and he was like really listening to my music. He really never really. I got so much music, he never really like got to like digest like a project just to sit with a project. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
once he got to listen to something, he was like, "Yo, I see a lot of influence from like funk, like as far as like your cadence. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
breaking it down. I'm like, damn, Pop was like really tapped in. He's really listening. But yeah, man, I enjoy that a lot, And time to time, I'll take a break off of listening to like hip hop and what I'm saying, instrumentals, and just go back into listening to soul and funk, man. Because sometimes that's good, Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that brings clarity, Because there's a lot of rappers, There's a lot of rap out, And it's like sometimes I need a break from just listening to rap all day and just tap into some funk, some soul, some '90s R&B and shit.
Yep. That's interesting. So you said when he finally got to digest one of your projects, which project was it?
It was Dustin Grime actually with me a lot.
Ah,
He like really loves that project, But his favorite joint is a joint I did off the Kev Brown joint, the Color Brown. Like he like always mentions it. I'm like, Pop, that's like so long ago, yo. Like I got other shit too, but he really likes Dustin Grime. He loves the chemistry that me and Logic Marsalis, what I'm saying, brought to the table. And that's one of my personal favorite projects, what I'm saying, as far as us.
mhm.
As far as like the time we put into that joint, like we literally like that took that was like a 3-year project. Like we worked on that project for like 3 years, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's necessary with projects, yo. Like I
Yeah.
feel like nowadays, like people are rushing because that's how the world is now. Like you have to be, constantly dropping projects like every 2 weeks and shit. Like,
Hmm.
me, where I came from, the way I grew up, it's like you want people to actually digest, what I'm saying, the music, yo, and sit with it. Like I come
Sit
from
down and enjoy that. Yeah.
yeah, I come from the '90s, yo. Like if you think about it, like when when Illmatic came out, you know what I'm saying? Like they was pushing the shit out of that project. Like they dropped hella videos in the span of 2 years. And then
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And they kept pushing it. And that's like the narrative. I mean, I don't want to sound like an old geezer or whatever, but that's the type of era that I came from, and I think they need to bring that back. I mean, I think it's
Mhm.
actually some artists doing it, like Kendrick, he takes a break
Yeah.
in between
Hmm.
projects, yo. But this new wave of hip hop, yo, like everybody is like it's like a rat race, and it's like, yo, it's not a race, man. We all can get money off of this, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's like I don't know. I just believe quality over quantity, you know. Firm,
Absolutely.
firm believer of that.
Yeah. Another thing is it's the digital age. Those algorithms are looking for
Mm,
that same relevant artist. So if you keep putting something out there, it picks up on that.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I
So
can't.
a lot of them are working to stick with that.
Yeah, I can't be mad at that though.
Yep. Now tell us what's your relevance with Norfolk, Virginia, because you work with quite a bit of producers and artists from Norfolk.
Um, Yo, big ups to my homie, my guy, my best friend, my producer, Elijah Marsalis. That's my dude. That's
Hmm.
my guy, yo. I actually met him through a close friend of mine that just passed away a couple months back, named the guy Knowledge. God rest his soul. But yeah, man,
Condolences.
I met him through Knowledge, yo. And when I came to Baltimore the first time, like I was just like. When I was like on a mission. I was like, yo, I need to work. I need to work with producers. I need to do something with this music shit.
Hmm.
So I met Knowledge, and as we was working on projects, this is like the MySpace era. As we was working on projects, he was like kind of tapping me into the people that he was listening to that wasn't relevant. That he was like meeting on message boards like on OK Player and shit. And he was
Hmm.
talking about Logic Marsalis, and they had this big infatuation of Baltimore. Yo, they just like love like Baltimore. Him and Stephen Hicks, they just love the griminess of Baltimore, yo. And from there on, we exchanged contacts. We've been cool since I think 2009, I believe, and we didn't really start working together until like 2010, and that's when we dropped Instant Messengers, then we dropped the Protocol, and he was the one dude that kind of like put the battery, like he like Logic Marsalis is like a I call him the underground version of Kanye, because he'll like hide out and I won't hear from this dude for
Uh-huh.
like I won't hear from him, but he'll hit me up on like social media or like on like an email ish. But as far as like a phone, like he be tapped in on the producer shit so crazy, yo. And then after then from meeting him, we formed Magnetic at Virginia. Cause I spent so much time out there, and a lot of people, a lot of people know, there's so much talent in Virginia from Richmond, like from cats from like
Yeah.
Nicholas F, Fly Anakin, Concept Jackson, like all
Yeah.
them dudes, yo. You know what I'm saying? And from I've been fortunate enough to work with some dope cats from Norfolk, like such as Manhe, uh, and Billy and Roswell, yo. So those are my go-to guys. Like if I need anything, yo, like them dudes got me, yo. And they have a sort of a crazy passion for this shit too. Like they want it just as bad as me, but we still have the same passion. We know what we're in this culture for. Like we know what we're doing this for at the end of the day.
Mm. That's dope, man. Yeah, I mean, all them dudes you mentioned, they got that quality work.
Mm-hmm.
I respect it because you go through your discography, and you start seeing the names, and then you just hear the music, and you're like, damn,
Yeah,
they
man.
got it.
Yeah, yo. Yeah, those dudes, and especially Alien, yo. Like Alien, he has that it factor, yo. And everybody that I work with, I want cats to win, yo. Like pilot London boy, like it's
Mm,
cat busy out there in Norfolk, man. Shout out to my Norfolk brothers, man.
yeah, definitely. Now, did you come up playing basketball?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
I was waiting for you to mention that. Yeah, I played ball. It's been a minute now. Like I don't play like I used to. I still like keep my cardio up, like going running and run 4 miles like every weekend, whatever. But as far as like ball, I try to get my chance on it. But back then, like back when I was coming up in high school and living on a military base, I was heavy investing in ball, like I was like trying to take it there to like, what I'm saying, like get to the league, you know what I mean? And I just remember I can recall if anybody out there is watching that's like a military brat or who served in the military, they knew how intense them pickup games were. And
Mm,
I remember like being in high school, like sophomore year. I'm 15, I'm 14, 15 years old. I'm playing against grown ass men. I'm playing against, 25 to 30 and up, like going hard, like, and yo, I was nice, yo. Like I was nice, man. Went to Kansas State University, and I actually got invited to a tryout, a basketball tryout. Um,
nice.
got cut the third day, and
Mm,
yeah, it's all love, yo. I think that from that
mm,
moment, I was like, yo, because the average point guard was like 6'4", you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, I'm like 5'8", so I'm just like, yo, you know what? But I still have the passion and love for it, yo. So I was always dabbling into hip hop and basketball, so it was just like, yo,
mm.
whichever one works, yo. Like I'm going to be here, yo. But yo,
Gonna be there.
I love basketball to the foot, especially back then, like back in the '90s, and I just felt like the game was more, had more finesse and more competitive. You know what I mean?
More. It seemed. I'm not gonna say team sport, but just the way it was played, it
Mm,
was finesse. It was finesse more as far as with the teammates.
yes, absolutely. And it wasn't like it wasn't. Maybe back then it was, but I wasn't aware because I was so young. But
Mm,
I could just recall now watching basketball. Now it's like I feel like players are congregating just to chase a ring. You know what I'm saying? As
mm.
opposed to back then, um, you know,
Dynasties.
yeah. Opposed to back then, it was like again. I may have not known what was going on back then because I was so young, but for my eyes back then, I felt like, yo, you got drafted. This is the team that you're on, and you're working. You're just grinding it out with your team. You know what I'm saying? And to get that chip, as opposed to like, yo, let me call my man's up. Let's try to figure out a situation where you can come over here and get this ring. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Now, were you into more of the NBA or college, or it was both? Because
Um,
me growing up, I love both of them, but I'm still more into college than the NBA.
but you know what? I felt like I wasn't. I would watch college ball, but I wasn't really like tapped in with the players like that. I just
Mhm.
noticed how I used to notice the difference. I just noticed the difference between the gameplay as far as like the hunger in the college ball as opposed to the NBA. Like college ball was entertaining, it was intense, yo, because them brothers that was on there on them squads, yo, they wanted it. You feel
Yeah.
me? So that's one observation that I can attest to about that. But still NBA was the shit too, man. But yeah, college ball was, yeah, it was a different breed, man.
Who was one of your favorite players growing up, and who's one of your favorite players now?
Oh man, yo. Man, growing up, yo, like of course I was Jordan head, Jordan, uh, Allen Iverson. Like that was a class I came. And I tell people all the time, so best rookie, the best rookie year class was with Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Stephon Marbury. Like that was an ill ass class, yo. I have a lot of players that I was really feeling back then, as opposed to now. I like Kyrie, I like Durant, I like Melo. There's a lot of dope players out there, yo. Especially these players that's young, like LaMelo Ball, yo. He really impressed me. He has really impressed me. His court vision is insane. Like, so shouts out to him. I see good things happening if they have the right focus. But yo, these players getting too much money. Like, these players getting that's another thing, yo. These players is getting too much bread, bro. Like, it's ridiculous how much these players is getting paid, man.
Yeah, the money's there. It's gonna keep coming in.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Now, before you were talking about MCing or playing basketball, but if you pay attention to not just your album covers, but you listen to your music, you see how it intertwines. Tell us how important that is for you, bringing the
Um,
basketball aspect with the
that's a
music.
good question. You know what? That actually happened on it happened on accident, to be honest with you. And Logic brought it to my attention. Like Logic was like, I think it was after Confidence is Everything too, which I had Spud Webb on the joint. And the reason why I chose Spud Webb because off the title, Confidence is Everything. That was no more than 5'6", you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And in a contest. So to win that, you had to have that confidence. You had to be like, yo, I feel like I'm that nigga. I feel like I'm that dude. So you went from that, and then he was like, yo, I think you're on to something. I dropped the Ghost of Lim Bias, and yeah, and then
That's my joint.
yeah, thank you. And then Logic was like, yo, I think you're on to something. I think you need to, to keep this narrative going. But I tell people it's not like, I may sprinkle a lot of like maybe 90s basketball references in my rhymes, but I'm
Hmm.
not like necessarily talking about basketball 24/7. You know what I'm saying? I still have
Right.
concepts of regular everyday life. I try to format that aspect of what I love into my rap show. And it's similar to what J. Cole does, but it's not on that
Yep.
that type of level. You know what I mean? Even though J. Cole, his joints like basketball thing, but I think I bring a different aspect of it because I pay homage to vintage shit, vintage basketball. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I think that's like the best basketball like back in the day, and people don't. I just want to pay homage and give those cats their flowers while letting people know that I'm a fan and lover of hip.
That's dope. Dope. Sticking to the sports right now. Is there any other sports that that you
Uh,
enjoy?
um, football from the top.
Football.
Definitely a Ravens head. Definitely a Ravens fan. But yeah, if it ain't about the Ravens, yo, I ain't like yeah.
Yeah, mess with.
I have a few heads like my homie Jay Bird, he's a Jets fan. Elijah Marcellus, like he loves Dallas, yo. Like so, I try to be tapped in, but yeah, this Ravens all day. So hopefully,
Okay.
they get the chip this year, man.
Hmm. Interesting. And how did the magnetic moments come to be? What as far as picking the name and everything?
Um, that was really like as far as the design, that was all Elijah Marcellus, yo. That was with that.
Okay.
And we were just trying. We all, the name. They actually had the name before. It was him and Stephen Hicks. That was.
Okay.
I just so happened when I met him, we was just being consistent and dropping projects, and he was just like, "Yo, why don't you be a part of this collective?" So a lot of people think it's like a label. Like it's not a label, it's a collective. Like we do everything in house from, you know what I'm saying, pressing up projects, the artwork, the art direction, field direction. We do everything in house, yo.
That's dope.
It's just me and him. He helps. Like even towards to the the Twitter handles and the media, we do everything in house. I have to do that ourselves, yo. And it came about because one day, you know, we like find ourselves making connect people like me from yeah, working with me, working with Jumble, like these people, and we just like, yo, let's just call it magnetic moments. And the pine cone thing about was you know, the pine cone is basically the aerial view of your pineal gland. You know what I'm saying? So that whole connection type vibe, yo. If y'all into all that, yo, which I still like. Logic's really into that heavy, and I still be learning, picking up pieces from him, and when he drops gems, yo. But yeah, that's what it came about, man. We got a license. You know, we got an LLC. Like he was the one that actually pushed the narrative. Like, yo, we need to do something about it. We got the website, and it's a dope feeling doing everything yourself, DIY ish, man. You ain't got nobody like to tell you, oh, this is how you supposed to do it. But you know, but with the utilization of it, we can, you know, we get tips on Twitter. I'm on Twitter heavy, and I'm always like just like absorbing information and gems from
Yeah,
people. You know what I'm saying? I love Twitter, yo. So you know, we use, you know, have that, you know, them resources, just bring that to the forefront of our website and what we're trying to do.
that's dope, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, coming up with a collective like that and just owning your own,
Yeah.
even though that's one of the best ways to start it up. That, you know, instead of trying to always push for, I gotta work with this
Right.
mainstream type of company and everything.
Mm.
You know, build yourself up.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Respect that.
Because the reward is more gratifying when you get it. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
look at like when you're doing your shit, and you're grinding and you building up your fan base, the out here, the people gonna be looking. Like people fail to realize, yo, people are always looking. It's the internet, it's the social media, yo. Like even though they don't respond, and that's a problem. I think people, you know, they want that response, yo. And you ain't really necessarily have to have that, yo. Just keep putting the work in, yo. Believe me, you putting the work in, you putting good music out or whatever you're doing, people are gonna reach out and you know and show their appreciation, yo. That's one thing I realized because I used to get caught up in that, like, damn, yo, I'm putting all this joint out, like, how is this person getting this look? Yo, I'm nicer than him, yada yada yada. But you know, I had to just realize, yo, put the work in and just keep working, yo, and it's gonna pay.
It'll fall. It'll come.
It'll come through. Like I just got discovered that I got played for DJ Premier last month, yo. So that shit was crazy, yo. That was the third time.
Hmm.
Like, yo, people are paying attention and tapping in, yo. Like that's like the ultimate cosign, you know what I'm saying? With the big homie Primo playing my shit, yo. So I got nothing but appreciation to that shit.
Dope, dope. Now, one of your other favorite projects of mine, and I was actually a fan of this basketball player, God Shamgod.
Yes.
Tell us about that project.
Man, that project, yo, was so special. Like as far as like making it and as far as rolling it out and putting it out there to the people, that was probably like my favorite project to do to get done. And that was
Mhm.
actually one of me. That was that me and man. Yeah, that was me and man.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was our first collaboration, yo. And yeah, it was just one of those joints where it was like, yo, he gave me a batch of beats, and we've been wanting to work with together for a minute, and we was just like, okay, what can we do? What can we do to make this different from every other project? And we just wanted to, when we did it, we wanted to make everything calculated as far as like getting the merch out, getting the vinyl, getting the tape out, um, doing the weekly drops. Because at first it was a secret. Like we wasn't even
Mm.
because everybody likes to like be on the internet saying, "Oh, yeah, coming soon, coming soon. I got this project coming out." But me and Logic was like, "Yo, why don't we just keep dropping music we released it. We finished the project. We finished recording the
Uh-huh.
project, and we get everything mixed and mastered. And then every Wednesday we're going to drop a song from that project, but we're not going to say where it's from. We're just going to be like, okay, this is the producer I'm working with, yada yada yada. Think of a hashtag. I think it was called Sham God Wednesdays, and
Is it? Mm-hmm.
it was Sham God Wednesday, and it was fun, and it was strenuous too, yo, because it was like where every song I had to figure out like a different artwork, to match that, to complement that song.
Yeah.
And with Logic, he's so technical because he's behind the scenes as far as dropping artwork and the graphics. So he's really big in small details, whether it's like font and lettering and shit. Like he's really in detail. So that played a big role in that, yo. And just the way we rolled it out, like after like the final song was out, I think it was like a 2 month, like it was a 2 month rollout, yo. It was a 2 month rollout. Finally, the week before the project came out, we dropped the video, Check Me Out, and then I think the following week we released the album with the tapes and the vinyl. That was the first time I ever saw it out of vinyl in like 2 days. That shit was dope.
That's nice. Yep.
Yeah, man.
And I'm not sure when the times changed the way albums used to be released and then the singles, but it used to be back in the days. It was the album came out first,
Oh,
and then they
wow.
started to release. But I think that was like decades ago. But
Mm,
that's how it used to be.
that's dope. That's dope. So it was the album first, and then they released the B side.
Singles.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep.
That's dope.
Oh, that's definitely what I wanted to talk about. We can talk about actually we can hold on and talk about that because we were just talking about the Sham God project with Mandy. So let's talk about your 2021 project, Baby Jordan.
Yes. um. Yo, again, just playing on the '90s aspect of basketball. Yo, I was on Southern Vanguard radio one day. Just like I had I think it was on. Was it my? I forget what was it. It was 3 years ago. Yeah, it was 3 years ago, and I finally got on Southern Vanguard radio. And they reached out to me. They were so intrigued with the projects I was dropping, music,
Hmm.
and again, it was Shamgar. Shamgar, they was intrigued by. Like they love Shamgar, and Meech from shout out to Meech Cappuccino from Southern
Yep.
Vanguard Radio. He was like, yo, you should call your next joint Baby Jordan. And I was like, yo, that's a hell of an idea, man. So, he the one that sparked it off. And I hit up I said, yo, we gotta do something, we gotta cook something up. And he was with it and that whole narrative. And what's funny, yo, is like when I do projects, as I'm doing them, I'm like in my head, I'm like, man, I don't know how this is going to be received. I don't know how people going to test this, like how they going to take it, yo. Like as you're creating it, you're like, man, I don't know if this is going to work, man. But, fuck it, cause I got so much other shit. I was like, yo, I gotta get this done. So a lot of people been coming up to me and saying they love Baby Jordan. Like a lot of people
Hmm.
say they love. So as long as the people love it, yo, that's always a dope thing, yo. Because as artists, we be so in our heads, man. And I was just like, yo, this got to work, man. Like this project has.
Hmm.
To. We got a video coming out, a remix. My man Rusty did a remix tonight. We sang a dunk contest off the project. We
Uh,
for that, yo. So that should be out in a little bit.
yeah, and the thing when you put out music, sometimes what you expect is going to be the one that everyone's going to be talking about, and it might be another project.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's another thing I realized too. Um, Everybody's ear is different.
Hmm.
Everybody is different. So with me making a project, and I'm like, yo, my head, I'm like, because it's me putting, I'm like, yo, about to be fire, this shit about to be ill, and you're thinking that the same energy how you're feeling about the project, you're thinking, yo, that people are going to have that same energy, but
Hmm.
it's not like that sometimes. Like everybody's taste is different, yo. So that's why I also feel like it's so dope to stay consistent in moderation. You don't want to be gone too long for people working on shit, but it's good to stay consistent in moderation, yo. And you
Yeah,
have a system catalog. People can choose or what projects to they want to listen to because okay, they may like the soundscape from this project because Alien produced it, or they might like a soundscape because man he produced it. So it's all about taste and everybody's ear is different, yo. That's a fact.
yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I was just looking the interview you did with Southern Vanguard Radio. It was 2018.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mhm. And ever since then, you've had those little scratches from John Doe every once in a while. Then check.
Yo, he's a guy I tap into, man. Like if I need a cut from him, he already told me. He was like, yo, and I was serious. I said, yo, I'm gonna be hitting your horn. So when I hit it, yo, come through, man. And yo, he's been nothing but supportive. Um, big shout out to him. Shout out to J57. Like, yo, I met a lot of. That's the dope thing about this whole journey is I met a lot of dope people, a lot of dope individuals, yo.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you just mentioned another one who you just released another project with,
J
Spicy Ramen Noodles
Spicy
with
Ramen Noodles.
J57.
Yeah, man, that was a quick little EP. We dropped. Like I said, Primo he played the single better than everybody on Shape 05, yo. So that was dope. And how I knew him, I knew of course he's with Brown Bag All Stars.
Mm-hmm.
This is like back in 2010. I don't know if you remember this day.
Say that again.
Remember the CMJ festival, the music festival?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, in 2010, I was still in Baltimore, and I was going doing shows, select shows from time to time out of town and shit. And J57, this one I was battling too, and I kind of knew Soul Con a little bit, and I knew they was doing these events called Brown Bag Tuesdays. And I reached out to him
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, let me, I'm trying to rock with it. This is like early Homeboy Sandman. Who was the one dude that was he was affiliated with Brown Bag All Stars. He changed his name. I think his name now is Kimber now. I forget his name, but I forget what he go by back in the day. But I remember he used to always wear a fedora. Like every show he used to wear a fedora or whatever.
Oh,
And what was his name? But anyway, 'cause I
you'll
remember
remember.
we was at the same show, like we rocked the same show. But J57 and Brown Bag, they gave me the opportunity to do a show in New York, and that was like my first real show, and it was during CMJ weekend. And from then on, yo, it was just like our relationship was it was like one of the relationships where like, yo, I see you and you see me. Like it was just like respect mutual thing. You know what I mean? I seen what he was doing and he was seeing what I was doing. I think I tweeted like last I would like to work with J57. And he would always like my little statuses and vice versa. But that was a crazy thing. We never had a conversation. Like the only time we really
Oh,
spoke the time we really spoke was when I got booked for that event in 2010 in New York. But from then on, social media, yo, it was just like, yo, I see what you're doing, man. Finally, we exchanged emails and we was back and forth. And he just sent me. I said, yo, let's just do an EP. He was like, yo, I got you, man. He added me a part of his collective, the sound. So shouts out to them, and they just embraced me with open arms. Word.
that's dope. Yeah, man. I used to see J57 and Audible Doctor when he used to work at Fat Beats.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man. Good times up in that place.
Man, Fat Beats, man. Damn, I've been there. I've been there a few times. I actually lost a rap battle. I lost a grind time battle in Fat Beats.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. With Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead was still living.
Oh wow. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Pumpkinhead, yo. He gave again. Not to go back to divert to go back to back those days of battling, but again, I met so many people on this journey, yo. Like I met so many dope people, yo. Like yo, Pumpkinhead, he was the one that was hitting my horn, like yo, come out and battle in New York. From Baltimore, Dolo, yo. So I remember that
Mm-hmm.
really, yo, working battling at Fat Beats, New York. It was so hot. It was so hot in that damn closed. It was really hot, man, in that closed area, bro. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
So interesting, man. There's so many good stories like that. But
Yeah.
I apologize. The two of us didn't meet when you were up there for Supply and Demand 3. But tell us how your experience was going to that event and the people that you met.
Um. And yo, and then no worries, yo, because it was a lot going on. It was
Hmm.
a lot going on. That trip was so dope. And then at the end, it turned bad because coming back, something happened where me and my fiance we got our belongings stolen from our hotel. We had to hold up.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man.
But anyway, besides the experience there was dope, yo. It was long overdue. I was trying to tap in with Mark and get in contact with him for a long time for the supply demand joint. And yeah, it was just it just took me back. I haven't been to something like that in a long time. Like seeing so
Mhm.
much hip hop in one room and everybody just enjoying themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that was just so there was no beef, like there was no fighting, like smoked out and like
Yep.
everybody, yo, and it was good
Just
music.
cool.
I met Gold. I talked to the Hidden Camp a little bit. Who else I spoke to? I spoke to Jay Skiz,
Nice.
Theravada, um, Chuck. I met Chuck Strangers was staying at the same hotel I was staying in. You know what I mean? Before I left, I ended up giving him a tape. I gave him Baby Jordan, and
Hmm.
Uncle John was as me and my fiance going back to Baltimore, DC.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Gave him a tape cassette. So like that was just crazy. Like the whole trip was dope, yo. So I'm just hopefully I get on that the top shelf premium off top freestyles, yo. You know what I mean? And Mark came up to me and was like, yo, I see you. Because Bernard that does the artwork, Bernard artwork, that's the homie from Frederick. He actually put in a good word in for me. He was just like, yo, Mark was like, yo, who I gotta look out for? And he mentioned me, and Mark told me he was just like, yo, I got my eyes on you. But Mark is he's a real like kind of calculated type dude.
I can tell. Yeah.
He's the one. He's like he'll reach out to you. Like he got his eyes.
Hmm.
Shout out to Mark, man, the whole Top Shelf Fruit fam.
Definitely. Yeah. They can do their thing. Like you said, there's great atmosphere, and that was the second one that I've been to, and
Mm.
both of them just a great atmosphere. Great for hip hop, great for the culture.
Yeah, that's dope, yo.
Now, tell us where you got the name from.
I got You'll Never Know. I used to go by Verb. I got You'll Never Know from a friend of mine, military, my man Mischief. I don't know if he's in the military. I haven't heard. I haven't heard from this
Mhm.
dude since. And he put me down with a lot of dope hip hop. He put me down with Tanya Morgan. Uh,
Nice.
like when I was trying to like actually trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to figure out like okay how who to listen to, who to tap in with. And one day we was just freestyling. He said, "Yo, you should call yourself. You'll never know." And I was like, "Why?" I asked him. I'm just like, at first I was just like, "Man, that's a corny ass name, man. Like that's corny as shit." And then once he broke it down to me, he was like, "Yo, how you spell it?" I was like, "Yo, that's dope. That's pretty dope, man." So, shout out to him, man. Shout out to the homie Mischief for planting the seed of the name, man. Every time I tell people my name, I just get the same reaction that I know I'm gonna get. I always get it, yo. Cause people are like be confused. Then when I break it down, it's like, yo, that's tight, yo. Like, yeah, man. Because everybody has a name, yo. So I feel like, yo,
Yeah.
I wanna kind of use it as an enigma, like trying to like a mystery, yo. Like everybody does the doom shit, like everybody does the mask, yo. Yo, you gonna see my face, but you ain't gonna know my name though.
Mm.
You'll see my presence, but you never know my name. So that depends on what you feel my name is. You know what I'm saying?
Nice, nice. Now, who in hip hop, MC, producer, any other DJs, would you like to work with?
Uh Man, you know what? My list my list changes like every day, yo, because there's so much out there,
There's a
yo.
lot out there, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like my list changes every day, man. But what I could say right now, definitely DJ Premier, Nice, Crisis, Apollo Brown, Exile, um, who else? Knowledge,
Mm.
Adlib, even Zumo with YL,
Yeah, I know Zumo. Yep. Hmm.
Zumo, Gray Matter, who there's a ton. Saidu Gold, um,
Oh, he's nice.
I
He
would
actually.
already work with J.R. Swift, yo. That's the homie, J. I would love to work with him again. Yeah, it's just countless dope cats, yo. MCs I want to work with Theravada, Concept Jackson, Fly Anakin, Homeboy Sandman, Ken Starr,
Mm.
Blue, Elzai, Fonte, like Fonte and Elzai, like those are the dudes that inspire. Like those two MCs are the reason why I push my pen the way I do, yo. Like,
Mm.
yeah, them dudes are like literally. I study them cats, man, straight up.
Okay. Yeah. That's some serious inspiration right there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Fontaine knows that.
yeah, man.
Yeah, you just mentioned Sagu Gold. He actually did a beat showcase at the second Supply and Demand.
I seen that, yo. That was crazy, and
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching it. Cause I was up front, and I'm sitting
Okay.
watching it. Right, like two things is going through my head. Like, yo, this dude, this shit is ill. The shit he's playing is crazy. And I'm like, yo, how is he doing all this with that mask on? Like
That's
that's what was going through my head, yo. I'm like, yo, this shit is so dope. I'm like, yo, how is he doing this shit? And he's conducting a crowd with that mask on. Like that shit was,
yeah, that was crazy.
yeah, that shit was ill.
Yeah. Now another one, my favorite project from you is Technical Foul with J.R. Swift.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, man. Word, word.
Tell us how you linked up with J.R. Swift.
Again, man. Like, I guess I'm in this like Virginia universe, man. I met him through Manhe. You know, this is when Jr. He was just doing a lot of beats on SoundCloud,
Hmm.
and yeah, man, he was just like telling me to check him out, and I checked out one of his beat tapes, and he had one of the first songs that I heard was "My God," which happened to be "My God," and I remember I just kept pressing him about it. Like I listened to that beat on the SoundCloud. I listened to that beat like almost every day. I was like, oh my gosh, like this shit is crazy. Like who's doing shit like this? Because whenever I do projects, I'm always looking to work with somebody different. You know what I'm saying? I always like to give people a chance, and I like to change my sound up a lot. And when I heard that, I pressed up. I was like, "Yo, bro, we need to do something. How much does that be?" Like, I started talking numbers, and I was just like, "Yo, let's do something. Let's do 6 joints." And it took like 6 months to do. And yeah, that was a dope project. Like that was another
Hmm.
project that, as far as like putting it out, the rollout, and all that, and being well received how it was. We did 2 covers. The first cover was, the Ron Artest, Malice of
Yep.
a joint, and the second one was developed from all 7 who work with Uncle John. He does artwork
Yeah.
as
Yep.
and he did the Bobby Knight joint for uh the show. We couldn't get the on our test. We couldn't. I wanted that one to be on Tidal, iTunes, but they wouldn't accept it because of
Oh,
yeah,
the
because
cover.
the photo, because of how the artwork looked, yo. Yeah, they couldn't accept it, yo. So that's why we the alternative cover with Bobby Knight throwing the chair. Yeah, but
Mhm.
that was a project, man. I felt like I remember working on. I was in my old apartment, and I don't know. I just had this sense of confidence because this is right before the situation with him and LI and how he started bubbling Griselda. So I got for he was like now where he's at now, and I just had a sense of confidence. Like yo, when I beats and I was writing to him, I was like, yo, this guy has to be a perfect project. Like this, I had to like smack everybody in the mouth with this joint. And fun fact, Rome Street, Nautica Windbreakers originally was a beat that was given to me.
Ooh.
Yeah, but
Wow.
was because Rome Streets did it justice. But he did it, he did it justice. So I'm not mad at the. But when Jr. gave beat packages, that that beat was in the package, and
Mhm.
by the time I wrote to it, because that actually was supposed to be Flair. That was Flair card. Flair cards was supposed to be from uh, Nordica Windbreakers beat, and Jr. hit me up, was like, "Yo, Rome, he hit me up last minute. He ain't had no contact with him. Hit me up last minute, and then he finally hit him up with the joint because he said beats producers send about beat packages a lot. Some artists don't respond to them. They just like whatever. So it was one of them cases. But again, shout out to Rome Streets. He killed that. The
Yeah.
out that joint is crazy, yo. So that's just like a little fun fact.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Rome Streets perform maybe about 5 times now in the past, maybe 4 years.
Okay.
But when that track comes on, yo, the crowd,
Go crazy.
man, yeah,
Yeah, that's a dope record. I cannot hate on. That's a dope record, yo.
yeah, that's dope. Now, I've been a big fan of posse tracks, since I was little. So
Yeah.
that Rasheed Wallace joint on Technical Foul, that one is hitting.
Thanks, man. How that came out? The dude that set it off, Apartment Jones. He's from Cali, and y'all gonna hear a lot about him, yo. Like he's one of them dudes that's like real calculated, that's on the low right now. But yo, he's nice, man. He's one of them dudes that's been doing his thing. He has really been got a couple joints in the vault. But that's a good brother of mine from Cali, man. And yeah, I just needed him off. That he said this joint all right. I feel like everybody did justice. I felt like he had a killer verse. Rise killed it. Like everybody, their mom killed that joint, yo.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, I had one more thing to talk about with this on this cover. Have you watched the
Yeah.
documentary?
You
Now,
know, God. And but I was in college when that happened.
mm,
I remember being in the dorms watching that live on TV as that happened.
yeah,
And I'm like, yo, this is nuts, man. And then, again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier about being young, and back then they didn't understand. You know what I'm saying? They didn't understand the adultness and the behind the scenes as now as a grown man. And I'm watching this documentary and I'm seeing like, hold up. Like when I was watching
yeah,
when I was younger, I was like, yo, that's messed up. Like, messed up. Why are they fighting them? Like, why are they going at like that? That's not right.
hmm
Then as I got older and I watched the documentary and I'm seeing the whole, you know, the layers of it, I'm like, hold up, yo, that's really messed up, yo. Like, this is crazy, yo.
yeah. It's really messed up.
Yeah, man, it's really messed up. Like, it wasn't even their fault. They was just, trying to protect their teammates, yo. And
Yeah,
Them getting suspended. Like, man, that's a whole nother thing. Like, they're not for us anyway. That was a whole.
No.
It's a whole other story.
Yeah. That was. How would you say this? That was trying to figure out the right way for it. Not the fire starter. It was the last thing to go and just set off that trend of just downgrading.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cass was after that. Like, Cass was not having it no more. Not
Hmm. Crazy. Now you got the new track out, corny ad libs.
yes.
Tell us about that.
Um, it came out of frustration. Shout out to my man Cuzzo. Um, who also for
Once again.
also, but he is he's related to my man Alien, yo. So
Okay.
yeah. But anyway, I was just frustrated, yo. Like, I was just frustrated with a lot of music, man. As far as where hip hop is going now, yo. Like, everybody is a tough guy. Like, everybody. Like, I miss that. I mean, you still had like the Nolan and Ninjas, the Homeboy Sandmans, the Blue,
Hmm.
Planet Asias, the Tri-States, all that. But I just feel like there's a lot of, I just feel like there's a lot of that drug related cocaine rap over local beats, like it, and not necessarily if it's put together right, like shout out to Rock Marciano, if,
Right. Hmm.
if it's put together right eloquently, I can appreciate that. But if you're just screaming out gun ad libs all day on your records, and you're just talking about how you are the greatest drug dealer ever, like, it's annoying, yo. It's really
Hmm.
annoying, yo. Like, so that's where the frustration came out. It wasn't people was like, "Yo, you dissing," and like, it wasn't a diss. It was just me like voicing my frustration and voicing my opinion about something that I feel like nobody has addressed, yo. Like, what with West Side Gun is the only one that's like able to do that. You know what I mean? Because he started it. He started the trend. But when somebody does something, of course everybody's gonna follow.
I'm gonna follow. Hmm.
It's just it's just too saturated with that, man. It's too saturated with that, and the whole purpose of that record was just voice out my frustration on that. That's I wanted to speak on the topic. And I'm done with it. Like, I got that off. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I mean, if you're an MC and you're truly good at it, you can be creative with any subject. So if you want to talk about the drugs and the gangster life, all you want, if you could be creative with it, it's you could do it forever.
Yeah, yeah. Um, like, what's the name was good at that. Stove Guys. I can listen. I
Mm,
Stove Guys. Like, he's like talk his drug related. Like, the way he spits it and the way he presents
presents it. Hmm. Yeah.
it, pretty dope. So that's the whole purpose of that song. It's like, it's not about uh, it's about how you present your content. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Yeah.
care talking about the drugs, but it's just how you present it, man. And
Yeah.
don't have a whole bunch of ad libs. Don't Your ad libs shouldn't be more important than your lyrics. That's all.
Definitely. Definitely. So what's in your current and future as far as the music right now?
I'm working on a Baltimore producer, my man God Sense Beats. We're doing the Ghost of Reggie Lewis. For those that are not familiar with Reggie Lewis went to Dunbar High School, which is in, and he's a Celtic alumni. But
Right.
yeah, we just wanted to do something that was. I still wanted to keep it basketball thing, but being us both being from Baltimore, I wanted this to be a hip hop like project on there. So yeah, we're
Mm.
actually almost finished recording. Um, we're looking at releasing it next, probably like late spring of next year, yo. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
this project. I'm really excited about that rollout and everything. I'm pretty excited about this. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Now you just brought up Godson's beats.
Hmm.
You he did the track Free Throw Line.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a question for you for that video. Was that jersey, that Moments jersey, is that a one of a kind?
Yeah, that's a one we did for that video. Actually, my man that passed away, I gave it to him. Like after the video shoot, cause that's like my best friend. Like after the video shoot, he asked me like, how the video went. And,
Yeah,
I went straight to his crib like the next day. Burnt one down with him and gave him a jersey, yo. Yeah, so it's still. I think his mom still has it, yo. But yeah, I gave that joint to him. Yep.
dope, dope, dope. Definitely dope, man. You'll never know, people. Lyrically, lyrically talented.
Thank you.
Gave us nice little history. Definitely has talent that y'all should check. That he works with coming out of Norfolk, Virginia, as well as Baltimore.
Word up.
Keep checking out his music. And all I can say is let him tell you where you can go and find his music, support it, and reach out to him.
Yo, y'all can follow me on all social media platforms at your hop is Sullneva hip hop. Um, Make sure y'all cop merch at magnetic.com/shop. That's mgntk.com/shop, man. And don't be a stranger. Holla at me, man. I'm always down to work, yo, booking. Yeah, man. Holla at me again.
Definitely, definitely. And on behalf of our HHDG media crew, which is Skelly Top, the Mayor, T. Smith, myself,
Word up.
Wiki, no, we're gonna say peace.
Peace.